Canelo's gonna come at him hard. But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right with no problem, and Canelo was way stronger than Mayweather.
De La Hoya has just rekindled the flames. He claims Canelo falters against smart, fluid competitors with good footwork. Crawford's placement in the same category, Bivol makes this a significant assertion. And just when you thought he was finished, De La Hoya doubled down on Canelo's worst weakness. He explained it a little better. Yeah, his footwork remains the same. He's completely unprepared. He's really heavy on his feet. That line landed hard. De La Hoya did not only criticize, he uncovered what he perceives as a major flaw in Canelo's game. He's not discussing strategy or stamina. He's going straight to the basics. To say a champion like Canelo, still flat-footed and heavy on his feet, that's a harsh shot, especially since facing someone as slick and mobile as Crawford. This isn't just a casual observation, it's a red flag. And De La Hoya made sure the boxing world heard it loud and clear. De La Hoya then pointed to a recent fight that, in his eyes, proves everything about Canelo's struggles.
You saw his last fight with Skull. He couldn't touch Skull. I mean, he was a runner. He was a Cuban runner, but he couldn't touch Skull. It was incredible. It was amazing. It was just like the fight with Lara. He couldn't touch Lara. So there's a reason why fighters think that if they move a little against Canelo, they have boxing abilities against Canelo, they might beat him. And I'm pretty sure Crawford is thinking.
He's not talking hypotheticals. He's pointing at real fights where the same flaw keeps showing up. This isn't a guess, it's a pattern. And De La Hoya is spelling it out with receipts for fans who believe Canelo is untouchable. This is a hard truth to swallow. It raises serious concerns about how he deals with clever technical opponents on the move. If Crawford is paying attention, he will notice a pre-existing path. He only needs to walk it. But then De La Hoya took a step back and addressed the one factor that could swing everything in Canelo's favor.
I mean, power's a lot. In this game, power means a lot. If you can't keep your guy off you, or you don't know how because it's too much pressure, I'm not saying Crawford is gonna fold, but a lot of fighters, you know, they can't handle the pressure.
This is where things become serious. De La Hoya is not mindlessly supporting Crawford. He recognizes the raw power Canelo brings to the ring. Power alters fights. It disrupts rhythm, undermines confidence, and can overwhelm even the most intelligent combatants. He's implying that, while Crawford is skilled and controlled, pressure like Canelo's has shattered many others. That subtle caution adds an element of unpredictability to this clash because only one of them has demonstrated the ability to walk through fire and keep striking. De La Hoya, on the other hand, viewed Crawford with greater regard and consideration.
And the one thing about Crawford is that he knows how to handle the pressure. He's a savvy boxer, you know? And he doesn't run, and he has that heart. He's a dog, he has that heart. You wanna fight me, I'm gonna fight you. But he's smart, so it's gonna be.
This was not a mere promotion. It was a calculated admission of Crawford's fighting abilities. De La Hoya emphasized not just his technical abilities, but also his poise under duress and fighting spirit. He stressed Crawford's unusual combination of intelligence and ferocity, allowing him to adapt without losing control. This combination of heart and strategy makes him a tough opponent. With that perspective, Canelo's battle becomes much more exciting. Following then, another voice came into the foreground. Teofimo Lopez provided significant energy to the debate.
Let's take over the show.
I got Canelo.
I got Crawford.
Oh man,
I
that's
got
not
Canelo.
gonna happen.
We bet 10,000. I want that on the table.
That's not gonna happen.
Who
bet 10,000?
That's not gonna happen.
I know Canelo
This guy
should
got to
win.
run.
Canelo should win.
This guy got to run for
But I like to go for my
12
father's bull.
rounds, and I seen his legs, and I even texted him. I said, "Man, I seen your leg, man. You're a
Who'd you
plug."
test, Crawford?
Yeah, and then he said, "You funny, man." You know, and me and him was just texting back and back and back. You know, I see what I see. I'm freaking.
got the eyes.
That's. You know, I might not be good on pads. I might not be good on something here.
You're talking about
but I'm
training
good.
over the year,
But I'm good with my eyes. I'm good with my eyes, and I'm good with telling my son what to do because I see it. You know what I'm saying?
You glitched the matrix, bro.
This was not just casual conversation. Teofimo came in with conviction and was willing to back it up with money. Betting against Canelo is unusual, especially when compared to another elite fighter. It showed how confident he is in Crawford's skill set and mindset. The fact that he's willing to confront his own father about it simply fueled the fire. The question now is not who will win, but how widespread Crawford's support is in the boxing world. Hearn intervened next, delivering a more measured response that fueled both sides of the debate.
He's not getting rattled at all. Berlanga's a big kid. So it makes me think, I mean, how is Crawford gonna keep him away for 12 rounds? Canelo's gonna come at him hard. But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right with no problem, and Canelo was way stronger than Mayweather.
This was not merely an opinion. It was a subtle challenge veiled in compliments. Hearn acknowledged Crawford's trust, but soon switched the topic to legacy and resumed. He did not criticize Crawford's talent, but he did bring up an important topic that many fans frequently discuss. Who is he genuinely beaten on the greatest level? The tone was not dismissive, but it had weight, especially coming from an experienced promoter. It left an unanswered question in the air. Is belief alone enough to defeat someone like Canelo? He did not stop there. Hearn dug deeper, highlighting stark parallels between both boxers. Resumes.
I'm not saying Crawford is going to fold, but a lot of fighters, you know, they can't handle the pressure. And the one thing about Crawford is that he knows how to handle the pressure. He's a savvy boxer, you know, and he doesn't run. And he has that heart. He's a dog. He has that heart. You want to fight me? I'm going to fight you.
This was Hearn making an argument that many people overlook. Canelo's route has been significantly more difficult than many realize. He wasn't only defending Canelo. He was questioning the notion that Crawford's recent performances are sufficient to tilt the scales. By alluding to opponents with minimal experience, Hearn hinted that some wins may look better on paper than they actually are. It was a subtle but powerful reminder that while names are important, context is much more important. And when you compare both careers, he plainly prefers one. Then Hearn throws something unexpected, an insider's perspective that fans have been wondering about for months.
First of all, what is there to say about, like, I've been cool with everybody all my life. If you're gonna say, even with Floyd, I mean, we've been.
You've said some good things about Floyd.
Yeah, we've been, even that, it's a show, this, that, you know. I mean,
except Canelo. That's the only one.
You're right.
Is there ever room to mend that relationship?
I hope so. I mean, I don't really.
This was not guesswork. It provided behind-the-scenes knowledge. Hearn displayed a side of Canelo that fans rarely see: hesitancy, strategy, and personal calculations. It was not about terror, but rather perception, risk, and reward. Fighting Crawford, a smaller and slicker opponent, introduces issues that Canelo would rather avoid, especially with low credit and maximum risk. The fact that this debate took place in private heightens its impact, raising major concerns about whether this fight will ever be fought. Hearn then changed the focus to strategy, explaining how Crawford may turn the tables on Canelo.
Really looked up to you.
And I always spoke
really respected
great
you
about him. So yeah, I don't know where it went wrong. I know it wasn't from me. I'm sure maybe it was whispers in his ears, because that happens a lot in boxing. You know?
We'll definitely find out.
Yeah,
so Ryan Garcia recently had a bad night in New York, but do you have faith that he's gonna bounce back and be better than before?
This was more like a tactical roadmap and a prediction. Hearn outlined the type of fight Crawford would have to fight. Not spectacular or explosive, but frustrating for Canelo. He depicted a masterclass in movement, ring IQ, and discipline. This is the type of performance that wins rounds, not hearts. That could be why it's so effective. If Crawford remains smart and sticks to angles and controls the rhythm, Hearn feels Canelo is about to enter a nightmare. Veteran broadcaster Jim Gray provided a balanced perspective, moving the focus to what this fight means for the sport as a whole.
I think it's great for boxing. I think we want to see the best fight the best. And even though there's been a difference in weight divisions here, I think that, you know, people clamor for big names and big fights and guys who are great to fight each other. So being for the institution, and I am for the institution of boxing. I think Canelo has been great for boxing, and I think Terence Crawford has been great for boxing.
Gray did not take sides. He looked at the larger picture in an era where politics and business frequently stand in the way of actual matchups. He reminded everyone why this kind of fight is important. It's not only about Crawford versus Canelo, it's about legacy, enthusiasm, and keeping boxing at the top level. When two legends from different paths meet in the ring, the entire sport wins. Gray's message was plain. This is larger than belts. It's about giving the supporters what they deserve. Gray then paused to consider the physical aspects and what kind of platform this fight truly merits.
Oh, you know, Terence Crawford is older, and Canelo has, what, twice as many rounds? So, I don't know how that combination ends up. You know, the weight difference. Canelo's going to be a bigger man and a bigger frame, and coming up in that weight. So I think it's just going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be at the Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play, and it's going to be filled up, and we're going to have a huge, huge night for boxing for the world.
This wasn't just about statistics. It was about spectacle. Gray highlighted the true inequalities in size, experience, and age, all while raising expectations for the scale of the event. He acknowledged the unknowns, what-ifs, and stylistic differences that make this fight so interesting. Above all, he portrayed a night that might electrify the sport. A full stadium, a global audience, and two champions making history. It's the type of moment that boxers live for. Gray concluded by offering a realistic assessment of Crawford's chances in the ring. He did not make any big predictions or outrageous assertions. Instead, he relied on reasoning and experience. Gray made it clear that, while no one can predict how this bout will go, Crawford possesses the tools to challenge anyone. Even though he didn't make any promises, his admiration for Crawford's abilities was clear. That cautious optimism echoes how many fans feel. Curiosity combined with eagerness. All the discussion and hoopla are meaningless until the first bell sounds. And it is precisely what makes this contest so interesting. Robert Garcia joined the chat, offering a more balanced assessment of Crawford's chances.
It's a fight that that most of the people don't give Crawford a chance because of the size, but he's got skills, man. He's got skills. He's got good speed, good footwork. That's why I do give him a chance.
You do give Crawford.
I do give Crawford a chance.
While many people concentrate on the size discrepancy, Garcia went beyond the physical. He highlighted the significance of talent, speed, and mobility, which Crawford possesses in plenty. His take wasn't overly aggressive, but it was confident, based on what he'd seen from top boxers. Garcia's words serve as a reminder that boxing is more than just power. It's all about time, angles, and execution. And, with the right strategy, he believes Crawford has more than a puncher's chance. Garcia then offered an honest assessment of Canelo's previous performances and what they could mean on fight night.
You know, Canelo's last few fights, you know, he does his work. He gets work done, but never does that little extra to please or to. He knows he doesn't need to anymore, so he's just comfortable enough with just securing the win. He became a businessman, and I think that could be something in favor of Crawford, that if he comes out in his best and good forward.
This was not criticism, it was a reality check. Garcia speculated that Canelo may be playing it too safe lately. Instead of attempting to dominate, he relied on his experience. This transformation in thinking from combatant to businessman might pave the way for someone as hungry and cunning as Crawford. If Canelo arrives seeking to cruise, Crawford may seize the initiative early and never relinquish it. It is no longer only about skills, it's about who is willing to dig deeper when it counts the most. Garcia didn't hold back when he critiqued Canelo's recent ring strategy.
Canelo is flat-footed. He you know, his last fight, especially against the runner, he was throwing one punch at a time. Didn't even try to be aggressive and get him into the ropes. Throw combinations of 4 or 5 punches. He never even tried that. So I think at this stage, I am giving Crawford a big chance of maybe pulling it up.
He mentioned something that has been on many fans' minds. Canelo simply does not appear to be as urgent as before. The lack of intensity, one punch at a time, cadence, and refusal to cut off the ring are all red signals. Garcia isn't simply challenging the style, he is questioning the fire. Passiveness can be costly when dealing with someone like Crawford, who feeds on movement and planning. This was not a casual opinion, it was a bold message, and Garcia saw the possibility of an upset. Garcia explained why this clash stands out for him more than others.
That's why it's one of the fights that I'm really looking forward to, because yes, that's a possibility too. If Crawford starts with his speed and footwork and landing 2-3 punches at a time, which I think he will, I think that's going to bring the best out of Canelo too, to go out there and show the world that no, this small guy is not going to compete with me at this division. So I think it'll bring the best out of both. So that's why I really see it a great fight.
He sees it as one of those rare fights in which both men have the ability to bring out the best in one another. Crawford's quickness, timing, and movement might instill a new sense of urgency in Canelo, something fans had been hoping to see again. And for Crawford, facing a strong elite-level opponent at a higher weight is the ultimate test. Garcia believes that this duel has the potential to become a classic. It's more than simply a terrific matchup, it's a moment that might shape both legacies. Carrington, a young talent, did not hesitate when asked to decide in this high-stakes game. He told me, "Yad, in my opinion, I think that Terrence beats Canelo." What? There was no build-up or hesitation, simply a confident call that was bound to spark controversy. Coming from a rising fighter, this opinion speaks volumes about Crawford's status among the younger generation. Carrington sees something in Crawford's style, gouts, and ring IQ that leads him to feel size does not matter when it comes to fighting. It's a big move, especially given Canelo's dominance at heavier weights. However, in such a complex battle, it can take a fresh viewpoint to see what others may overlook. Carrington then discussed an element that does not shown on the stat sheet, but can be felt in the ring.
See, that never bothers me, because Canelo on fight night, for some reason, he just seems like he's so much bigger than the guy because of his stature. It's not more so his height, it's his back. Like, you always, like, his back is very, like, just wide and, like, Cobra-like shape. You know what I'm saying? I feel when it comes to Canelo, it's just his natural physicality that's just very imposing.
He wasn't discussing height or reach. He was discussing presence. Carrington emphasized something that many people overlook. Canelo's muscular frame commands respect from the moment he enters the ring. It's more than just size, that's how he carries it. His physical structure alone can make opponents think twice. That type of inherent physicality is terrifying even before a punch is thrown. In a confrontation where every edge counts, this subtle pressure could play a larger role than most people realize. Carrington then returned to one concern that he just couldn't ignore: Crawford's ability to withstand serious force at heavier weights.
Me, that size is still always going to be a problem for me, because I think when Terrence Crawford, his last fight when he fought Majumov, he mentioned, I thought the problem for the fight, and I'm going to stand on this because I genuinely believe that this is what it is, even no matter what Bud says, that the fight was as competitive as it was because of his style. But Bud said in an interview during the fight that it was the power that was kind of an issue that made him kind of like, a little, hesitant on certain.
This time, it wasn't simply an opinion, but a conviction. Carrington maintained that size and power might still be a major issue for Crawford, even if the skill disparity exists. He cited a recent performance that exhibited minor cracks under strain. Crawford's customary confidence appeared to be tempered at times. It's not a criticism of his brilliance, but a reminder that physicality at the elite level alters everything. Against someone like Canelo, who has huge hands and a strong physique, even the tiniest hesitancy might change the outcome of the fight. Carrington began to break things down, pointing out technical nuances that could cause problems for Crawford.
If the power is an issue, Canelo's stronger than Majumov. You know what I'm saying? So what are you going to do? What are you going to do with that? And then there were certain shots that Majumov got in with the straight right hand and dipped right hand straight after Terrence throws his jab that Canelo does very well. Canelo has actually dropped Austin Trout with that same shot. What are you going to do with that? So that is still a problem for me when it comes to, for Crawford.
It wasn't simply about size anymore. It was about time, patterns, and danger lurking in plain sight. Carrington identified specific instances in which Crawford demonstrated fragility, particularly against blows thrown with strength and precision by Canelo. He made it obvious that, if such opportunities emerge, Canelo is the type of boxer who will seize them and punish them. It isn't just theory, it is based on established behaviors and combat history. For Carrington, the question is not whether Crawford is great, the question is whether he can endure and adapt when the pressure is increased and the punches are more powerful. Despite his initial misgivings, Carrington returned to what gives him faith in Crawford's possibilities.
I feel like overall, Crawford is the best fighter, the better well-rounded fighter. He has the better footwork, he has the speed, he's a switch hitter, he's more versatile, he has what it takes to win. You know, so, and I do feel like the mentality as well too, has that dog mentality. If Canelo hits him, he's gonna want to get his back, but still be smart about it, you know? I think that's one of the main things that make me feel that Crawford is gonna be able to take the victory.
It was a complete circle moment. Carrington acknowledged the risks, but explained why he still feels Crawford can get the job done. For him, it is more than just talent, it's about ultimate control, adaptability, and mentality. Crawford's ability to vary stances, regulate distance, and maintain composure under fire distinguishes him. More significantly, Carrington identified something that cannot be trained: attitude. He feels Crawford possesses the ideal combination of passion and intelligence, the type that wins not just rounds but wars. Crawford finally explained why he decided to step up and fight Canelo head-on. This was not about seeking attention, it was about pursuing greatness. Crawford considers Canelo the last true legend of this age. He's not backing down from the task. It's a daring decision that reflects his desire for legacy rather than titles. By entering Canelo's weight class, he is not only testing his abilities, he also hopes to defeat the sport's biggest star. And with that mindset, Crawford isn't simply entering the ring, he's making history. Crawford then reminisced on his path, crediting each step for helping him prepare for this task. But how about you? Do you believe Crawford's skill can bridge the size gap? Can Canelo handle the movement and acute angles over 12 rounds? Is this actually a 50-50th fight, or is someone keeping a level head? Please share your ideas in the comments below.